This is KRT, Critical Race Theory. It's not the one they teach in law school, but the one banned in public schools. In July of 2022, I set up the KRT, Critical Race Theory channel. Then on November 30th of 2022, I dropped the first video. I started this in response to a news report of a Texas school board meeting where all of these parents were protesting the teaching of Black history. This exploded in school board meetings mainly across the South, but also in the Midwest too. They were calling it critical race theory, which was a lie. Critical race theory is a college course mainly in legal studies, but the right-wing politicians latched on to this and instituted bans on the teaching of Black history, like DeSantis in Florida and Huckabee Sanders in Arkansas. So on November 30th, I dropped the first video. It was the Atlanta Race Massacre. I followed up with 109 videos to date. I learned a few things I didn't know along the way, such as the first and only Black auto manufacturing company in the U.S. and the first record company. And it was not Motown. Speaking of Motown, I also learned that Barry Pops Gordy Sr., that's Barry Gordy Jr.'s father, had a successful business in Georgia and moved to Detroit because of threats from the KKK. Getting back to the Atlanta Race Massacre, which I had never heard of, it began because of jealousy. Atlanta, sort of like it is today, was full of Black folks who were going places. They had businesses, and some of these businesses were so successful, they had white customers. So the newspapers concocted a story about Black men raping white women, the go-to trump card. It's always about the white woman. Well, that was enough to get things rolling. The newspapers were the Atlantic Journal and the Atlantic Constitution. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? The riot resulted in numerous deaths and property destroyed. I followed that up with Racism in the Cockpit. It's about Marlon Green, who had to sue before the Supreme Court in order to work as an airline pilot. Next was the story of Black World War II veterans who were denied the GI Bill. When the GI Bill went up for a vote, one hillbilly congressman from Mississippi held it up. He told President Roosevelt that he would not vote for the bill if niggers were included. So Roosevelt compromised and said, okay, no niggers, and the bill passed with the stipulation that the states would decide who got the benefits. So you can imagine what happened in Mississippi and the rest of the South. Then there was Nixon's War on Black Americans. If you haven't watched this one yet, please watch it. This is a blueprint of how we got to where we are now. It's about how President Nixon created the drug war, which led to mass incarceration of Black men and the school-to-prison pipeline. John Ehrlichman, who was a top Nixon aide, revealed in a 1994 interview the war on drugs itself was designed to target Black people and hippies. Here's what he had to say. The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and Black people. You understand what I'm saying? We know we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or Black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and Blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. And you can see that today on the evening news. They got us real good. I'm very satisfied with what I've accomplished within the last 12 months. There are 110 videos on YouTube, and they will also be available on Rumble. So after November 30th, I will cease uploads until further notice. I'm hoping I made a difference in some small way. Now, if you or someone you know would like to take over until I return, send me an email and we'll talk about it. This has been Critical Race Theory. Please like and subscribe. Leave a super thanks or buy me a coffee and share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time.
Broke my heart on the playground when they said I was different. Oh, now I'm all grown up and nothing has changed. Yeah, it's still the same. It's a hard life on easy street, just white painted picket fence as far as you can see. If you think we live in the land of the free, you should try to be black like me. My daddy worked day and night for an old house and a used car, just to live that good life. It shouldn't be twice as hard. Oh, now I'm all grown up and nothing has changed. It's a hard life on easy street, just white painted picket fence as far as you can see. If you think we live in the land of the free, you should try to be black like me. Oh, I know I'm not the only one. Oh, yeah, who feels like I don't belong. It's a hard life on easy street, just white painted picket fences far as you can see. And if you think we live in a land of the free, you should try to be black like me. Oh, and someday we'll all be free, and I'm proud to be black like me. Proud to be black like me.